New York, as President Donald Trump remains mum on allegations that Senate nominee Roy Moore of Alabama usually abused multiple teenage girls. His daughter Ivanka said she believes the accusers there's a special place in hell for people who prey on children. Ivanka Trump said in an interview with the Associated Press that published Wednesday, "I've yet to see a valid explanation, and I have no reason to doubt the victims' accounts." The president's daughter and advisor did not say whether Moore should exit the race. Beverly Nelson L. shows a school yearbook with attorney Gloria Allred during a news conference announcing new allegations of UAL misconduct against Alabama Republican congressional candidate Roy Moore in New York, November 13, 2017. Reuters' Lucas Jackson accuser Beverly Young Nelson reacts while reading a statement claiming that Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore usually harassed her when she was 16, in New York, U.S., November 13, 2017. Reuters' Lucas Jackson attorney Gloria Allred stands with accuser Beverly Young Nelson, holding a sketch of herself made when she was 16 after reading a statement claiming that Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore usually harassed her when she was 16, in New York, U.S., November 13, 2017. Reuters' Lucas Jackson Beverly Nelson L. reacts as she reads a statement to reporters with attorney Gloria Allred during a news conference announcing new allegations of UAL misconduct against Alabama Republican congressional candidate Roy Moore in New York, November 13, 2017. Reuters' Lucas Jackson New York, November 13. Beverly Young Nelson L. speaks to the media with her lawyer Gloria Allred at a news conference where she has accused Alabama Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore of usually abusing her when she was 16 on November 13, 2017 in New York City. Moore, a controversial politician who recently won a runoff against Luther Strange for Alabama's Senate seat, is currently fighting accusations alleging that he pursued UAL relationships with teenagers including a 14-year-old when he was in his 30s. Photo by Spencer Platt. Getty Images. Republicans are trying to figure out what to do about Moore, who has refused to drop out of the Senate race despite recent allegations that he pursued or usually assaulted teenagers when he was in his 30s. Several party leaders, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell RKY, have called on Moore to drop out. In a news conference Wednesday, President Trump walked out on reporters as they asked him whether Moore should be allowed to stay in the race. Without Trump's guidance, it's now up to the Alabama Republican Party's steering committee to decide whether to disqualify Moore as a candidate. The president's silence may have something to do with the fact that he, too, was accused during his campaign of UAL assault and harassment by 16 women. Trump has long insisted that those women are lying. He threatened to sue them during his campaign and denied all of their allegations again last month, calling them fake news and made up stuff. Ivanka Trump takes part in a conversation with Administrator of the Small Business Administration Linda McMahon at the U.S. Institute of Peace in Washington, U.S., May 1, 2017. Reuters. Kevin Lamarck, Arlington, Virginia, August 21. Ivanka Trump greets U.S. military leaders before a speech by President Donald Trump on America's involvement in Afghanistan at the Fort Myer military base on August 21, 2017 in Arlington, Virginia. Trump was expected to announce a modest increase in troop levels in Afghanistan, the result of a growing concern by the Pentagon over setbacks on the battlefield for the Afghan military against Taliban and al-Qaeda forces. Photo by Mark Wilson. Getty Images. White House senior advisor Ivanka Trump speaks next to Small Business Administrator Linda McMahon during a White House event with small businesses in the East Room of the White House in Washington, U.S., August 1. 2017. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. Ivanka Trump, daughter and advisor of U.S. President Donald Trump, departs United Nations headquarters after meeting with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in New York, U.S., July 28, 2017. Reuters. Mike Seeger. Washington, D.C. April 4. Ivanka Trump delivers remarks during an event at the Eisenhower Executive Office Building April 4, 2017 in Washington, D.C. U.S. President Donald Trump also delivered remarks and answered questions from the audience during a town hall event with CEOs on the American business climate. Also pictured are U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross and Reed Cordish from the Office of American Innovation. Photo by Win McNamee. Getty Images. Ivanka Trump joins her father, U.S. President Donald Trump as he meets with women small business owners at the White House in Washington, U.S., March 27, 2017. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst, U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos and Ivanka Trump speaks during a visit to the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum in Washington, U.S., March 28, 2017. Reuters. Joshua Roberts. Ivanka Trump joins her father, U.S. President Donald Trump as he holds a meeting with experts on addressing human trafficking at the White House in Washington, D.C., U.S. February 23, 2017. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. Schaeffler CEO Klaus Rosenfeld, Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel and Ivanka Trump participate in a roundtable with U.S. President Donald Trump and German and U.S. business leaders at the White House in Washington, U.S. March 17, 2017. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. Trump Senior Advisor Jared Kushner, his wife Ivanka Trump and with Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn depart a news conference by U.S. President Donald Trump and King Abdullah of Jordan at the White House in Washington, U.S., April 5, 2017. Reuters. Kevin Lamarck. Ivanka Trump and her husband White House Senior Advisor Jared Kushner attend a news conference with Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel and U.S. President Donald Trump in the East Room of the White House in Washington, U.S., March 17, 2017. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. Washington, D.C. February 10. L2R Senior Advisor Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump enter before U.S. President Donald Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe hold a joint press conference at the White House on February 10, 2017 in Washington, D.C. The two answered questions from American and Japanese press. Photo by Mario Tamaghetti. Images. U.S. President Trump addresses joint session of Congress. Washington, U.S. 280,217 Karen Owens, widow of Senior Chief Petty Officer William Ryan Owens, reacts as Ivanka Trump, daughter of U.S. President Donald Trump, and her husband Jared Kushner applaud after Owens was mentioned by President Trump. Reuters. Kevin Lamarck. Ivanka Trump stands as U.S. President Donald Trump makes a toast during the governor's dinner in the state dining room at the White House in Washington, U.S., February 26, 2017. Reuters. Joshua Roberts. Ivanka Trump looks at Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau during U.S. President Donald Trump's roundtable discussion on the advancement of women entrepreneurs and business leaders at the White House in Washington, February 13, 2017. Reuters. Kevin Lamarck. U.S. President Donald Trump points out his daughter Ivanka Trump II flanked by Alveda King II and U.S. Senator Tim Scott RSCR, during his remarks after visiting the National Museum of African American History and Culture on the National Mall in Washington, U.S., February 21, 2017. Reuters. Jonathan Ernst. U.S. First Lady Melania Trump and Ivanka Trump as U.S. President Donald Trump speaks in the Oval Office of the White House in Washington, D.C., U.S. February 28, 2017. Reuters. Joshua Roberts. White House Senior Advisor Jared Kushner and his wife Ivanka Trump talk with Sarah Netanyahu front as she arrives for a joint press conference between U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House in Washington, U.S., February 15, 2017. Reuters. Carlos Barria. Ivanka Trump as Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, U.S. and President Donald Trump speak during the joint news conference at the White House in Washington, U.S., February 10, 2017. Reuters. Joshua Roberts. Washington, D.C. March 27. Claudia Mercer, co-founder and chief executive officer of Accorby, from right, Ivanka Trump, daughter of U.S.